Ring Shirley to come throw some water on you.
She'll be. She's like blinking out in front of the TV.
Hope it works tonight.
The Daft Vapor. Who's that? Have we got any admins in? Otherwise, we're going to have to actually watch the chat.
We are behind the curtain.
I haven't seen any.
Behind the curtain.
Oh, I like it behind the curtain.
Behind the curtain, we're not even 6 feet away from each other.
You can peek through the curtain, can't you, and not be seen.
Yeah, I can see James Hall. I can see Jibby Jeps.
Yeah, you can see people.
Yeah.
Scotty's there.
I like what
I
Scotty
can see
Boxford's
Jibby
wearing.
touching himself under his dress.
If everyone can leave a space after each chat message for social distancing.
Yeah, that'd be good. Don't do that. They'll do it.
Oh, Mr. Toddington.
Oh, Mr.
Toddlington.
Got his spanner out.
Down is in.
Oh, he's got his spanner. All right.
We're safe.
Tony Parkinson's watching Chet. You know what that is?
The people that don't chat, the people that have to watch on the telly.
What is
Chet's parents know you're watching him, Tony?
If you're watching it on a big telly, I don't think you can chat.
Reverend Vapor's here.
The Rev Doctor. Righty.
Yeah.
Jibster. Right, shall I roll intro?
Yeah, go for it.
Right.
I just think Rick's t-shirt. I really like that for the yard.
Are we alive? Welcome. Welcome to the new Ohm Show, number 15, Pickled Rick Part 2. We are rejoined with Rick from modmaker.co.uk.
Fancied seeing your lovely face.
Oh, that's lovely.
Also stuck in the house and in need of a virtual pub, which I'm sure we all are this evening. And Brad's sat down. I can exclusively reveal Brad is sat down.
I am sat down. There is the proof. This is my stool in my new house, enjoying the peace and quiet.
Beautiful.
And the beer.
Excellent news.
Oh, good beer too.
Yeah,
very nice beer.
Right. A bit of business. Smash that like button. It's better to just get it done now, and then you've got nothing to worry about for the rest of the show. Because you don't want that hanging over you. Oh, God.
I've got to hit like. I've got to hit it.
I bet you can't sleep.
Don't forget to introduce him. No one knows who the fuck he is.
Yep.
You won't be able to sleep. You always know there is something you had to do, and it's just niggling away at you.
Yeah, exactly. So just get that done. Smash like. Switch the chat to live chat in the top.
I'm John, by the way, just in case anybody wondered.
Yet.
Oh, right, that's why you just introduced those two. That's what Brad said.
Well, I introduced Brad's chair.
Do you mind?
John's here as well.
Oh, cheers, man.
From
John didn't see up there.
The internet. John from TikTok. He's here.
John.
He's here and all. I'm sure he'll get a word in a minute. So that's all that. I hope everyone's safe and well and all that good shit. We don't have too much vape stuff to talk about tonight. I'll be upfront with you. So we're gonna go old school.
Just hanging out. Hanging out.
We're gonna go old school. Yeah, we're just hanging out, having a chat. Oh, I'm a bit too quiet. Yeah, that's the thing. I can do that. I can fix that. Hey, wait, there we go. So I'm now louder. So we'll just go around old school styly. John, since you're feeling left out, what did you have for lunch?
That's quite good.
Yeah, what did you have for lunch? What has been going on in your week? How are you? What are you drinking? What are you vaping? And what is your favourite sport-related film?
Oh, that's good. Oh, kudos on the thing. What did I have for lunch? I had a can of Apple Tango. That was my lunch because they're customer drinks, but I don't need them anymore. So I just drank one because I worked out.
Nectarine, basically, isn't it?
Well, I'd worked out there was enough calories in there for it to count as lunch, so I just drank it because I'd got that much going on. I had a smart meter put in today at lunchtime at home. So I had to get home for the smart meter, get back for a load of tiles to be delivered for the kitchen, but they were being delivered at work. The printer fucked up, the laptop fucked up, rushed back. Yeah, can of tango seemed reasonable to me. How's my week going? Not a lot on, to be honest. Boring. I don't know if anybody's been watching the news. Fuck all's going on. So what's been going on really? Sunday, we decided to close the shop down. Close just had Nick. The shop down.
Not going well.
Due to COVID-19, we shut it down. To keep our online customers safe.
You didn't want those filthy villagers infecting you.
I didn't want anybody in the shop at all. Because we send out so many liquids, because I've been sending it to places that are locked down, so France, Germany, Italy, and all over the world, and I can't have people coming in, so nobody's been in the shop, not delivery driver, nothing, nobody's been in there, and running it just online again, back to being online only sales. Blinds down, sign on the door. It's a bit more boring than it was. Definitely more boring. But yeah,
you feel like you're locked in a cell.
Yeah, a bit. But I don't mind. As long as I keep getting stuff out, I'm happy. What else? That was that. I am vaping on. I haven't been that manic at work that I haven't managed to re-wick anything for about 5 days when it probably needed re-wicking 6 days ago.
Vulcan.
So I re-wicked the crack current in the what's it called, VAR 16. So that's absolutely lovely. I've got one of those on the go. I have got Pistache on top of an abstract mod with I keep forgetting the name of this. I'm so tired. What's it called?
Velocity
V2. That is, yeah, it's good. 25 milligram. That hasn't been vaped for a while, so it's a bit of a misty vape. And last but by no means least, it's in my pocket. Lemon crack in the VAR 22 on top of the Proton Mini by Inakin. I've got Punk IPA in the Martin IPA glass. Martin IPA glass. The delightful pour got me. Perfect. And the next to go in that glass will be a Goose Island. Normally I do the 4 for £7, 4 for £6 at the local supermarket, but you can't do that because you're only allowed to buy 2 items. So I bought 2 4-packs. That just made more sense to me, so I've done that instead. Favourite sporting movie? That's good, isn't it? Oh, I think I'm going to go off with this. I'm going to say, for purely sentimental reasons, I'm going to say Cool Runnings.
Damn it, that was my one.
Funny, yeah. That was a funny film.
Yeah,
Good
John
film.
Candy's last movie,
Good
isn't it?
film.
They had to use everything they had in
movie.
the can with that they had of John Candy, didn't they? It's great. Oh, yeah, it's a great film. I remember watching it at the cinema and enjoying it. Okay, then we'll go Brad. Brad, how's your week been?
Darling.
No, darling.
What
how's
did
your
you
week
have for
been?
lunch?
Oh, what for lunch? I told you, can of tango. That was lunch.
All right, not eating much.
I couldn't. Every time.
No food in the supermarket.
No, there's a can of tango in the customer fridge at work that I haven't got any customers anymore coming in. So can of tango, had that. It works. Fatties are a thing of the past, Richard. Oh, they are. Oh, they are a thing of the past. We'll remember them with fond affection. Brad, how's your week been? Oh, what'd you have for lunch? How's your week been? What are you vaping on? What are you drinking on? And what's your favourite sporting movie?
Well, you stole mine.
Yeah, so
So
change
now I
it.
have to
so you can't
think
say.
on my feet. I don't know if it was a movie or
It's that South African rugby one, isn't it?
Okay.
Invictus or whatever.
Yeah, but that's crap. There's another one, but I'm not sure if it was a movie or a book. But we'll get there. We'll get there. What was the first question?
Did you watch it or read it?
Blood Diamond's not a
I don't
sport.
remember.
Sort of is. So has he got Naomi Campbell up front?
Yeah, the week's been interesting. I've been self-isolating because my daughter had symptoms. But I can say, as of bedtime this evening, which was an hour and a bit ago, that her fever has broken. So we don't think it was the corona.
And how Mr. and Mrs. Brad, temp-wise?
Temp perfectly fine.
Okay.
Nothing out of the ordinary. So
you're right to go.
Fine.
You're right to go 7 days anyway, won't you? So.
Yeah, exactly. And I think 7 days will be
Sunday,
Saturday
or Sunday. Yeah. One of them.
Yeah, one of them. I can't remember. The wife is in control, not me.
That's good.
But anyway, that's been my week. Locked in the house, trying not to leave when you're trying, which is really difficult when you're trying to stock up.
And trying to move house. You actually moved house with no delivery drivers or helpers, did you? Which is pretty good.
Yeah, we had to cancel our removal crew and do it all ourselves, which one like carrying fucking shit like that, which I realise now is out of frame, is a pain in the ass and the back. But yeah, that's all boring. I am drinking Clockwork Orange.
Yeah, tangerine.
Which is nearly done.
Is it any good? I've been avoiding it because I'm afraid of sweetness.
Fucking marvellous.
Okay.
It's fucking marvellous. There's a let me tell you. No, there's more tart than sweet. So you're safe.
Right.
And when that's done, I'm going old school with the punk.
That's
ready and waiting. I am still vaping Old Faithful. The UL with my EVL on the top. Where the hell is the frame and the focus? You know what it looks like. I've shown it to you every week for a couple of months now. But I have decided that it's probably time to replace the mod. Don't know what I'm going to get yet. Lunch. What the hell did I have for lunch? I had a bowl of oats for lunch because I was too lazy to make anything and we didn't have anything.
You're talking to the man who drank a can of Tango. You are in good company. Oat away, my friend. Yeah. Oat away.
And favorite sporting movie? I'm going to say Hansi.
Can't make them up, Brad.
Is that a movie?
Cunty.
Has it anyone?
It's a
Hansi.
Yeah, it is. It's a docu-film, isn't it?
Yeah,
Hansi
Cornier.
Cornier.
Hansi Cornier.
I think that works. Yeah.
Cunty.
Yeah.
What's it about?
A former South African captain
cricket,
that got done for cheating.
Oh, okay.
Well, he got done for cheating and he was stoned out of his mind for the last 10 years of his career. And he died in a plane crash shortly afterwards.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So, yeah.
Oh, didn't it? Goes to show something, I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly. Well, don't fly planes when you're high.
Oh, was he flying it? Was he flying?
There's a joke in there somewhere.
Yeah, that was quite good. I liked it. I liked the pun. It was nice. I liked it.
Yeah. I think he was flying it. It was 20 years ago. I can't remember.
The kids don't drink and fly.
Don't fly high. Rick, darling.
Hello, gorgeous.
How's your week been? What you drinking?
Johann's cheated by doing Fight Club, by the way.
No,
it's definitely cheating.
Definitely cheating.
What did you have for lunch? And what's your favourite sporting movie?
Well, how's my week been? It's much like John's, I think. Boring. Very quiet. Ridiculous. I'm only really going in for sanity's reasons, really. I've got about an hour's work a day. And it's just, not that I'm complaining. People have got other things on their minds. They've spent all their money on toilet rolls and canned food. So, I understand. But no, we're still open. We're staying open. I'm still going in every day. All the time the post office is working, I'm going to send packages out. So, yeah, but a bit boring. Not a lot going on. What did I have a lunch? I had a great lunch today. Great lunch. We went to Lidl shopping. Oh, fuck off. My thing's beeping now. Went to Lidl shopping on Tuesday. You know, they got the European meat section. They got like nice bratwurst and things like that. They had these sort of Swedish meatballs like the IKEA ones you get.
Yeah.
And you go up there. So I came back and I microwaved 9 of those and I put them in between a couple of bits of bread with some butter and ketchup. That's what I have.
Oh, you needed a jar of salsa.
Something like that.
Yeah, that'd be all right. Yeah, that'd be good too. I've still got some left. There must have been about 30 in the box. So
a couple of bits of cheese melted on top.
Yeah, that'd be good too.
I mean, I wouldn't eat any of it, but I'm still going to pretend I would. But cheese, that's what you need.
It's been a week of processed food.
Lovely. Not wrong with that.
No, I enjoyed it. What am I vaping on? I'm just actually re-wicking my... I think I've caught Alzheimer's off my old man. that one.
That's still the Haku, isn't it?
Haku, yeah. Haku.
Yes. We're doing well tonight, can't they, Marinette? I never can.
Got the Haku on my little single battery squonker with black currant in that. I've got the K-Fun 2020 19 light, and I'll chuck that on my SX SL class.
Yeah, it's a nice pair in that.
Yeah. So, and I've got something Pibbleworth's Sakuto.
Ooh, posh.
It is really nice little backy taste, not too strong and on the tobacco, which is what I like. And finally, I saw John posted today that he was on the Velocity, or yesterday. So I've got my Velocity V1 out.
Oh,
I've been meaning to get mine out.
And I actually converted this with a pin on the bottom.
This one, but the V2 came with it.
I know, I've actually got a V2 up there as well, which somebody, I'm terrible. An Omi kindly sent it to me because he wasn't using it. And I did want one, and they're great. So yeah, so I've got that wicked up today, and I've got that in my parallel, another mechanical squonker, and in that I've got this deep-rooted Glacier.
Yeah.
For a nice, cool note. And that's what I'm vaping on. Favourite sporting movie? Okay. I watched one the other day that was quite good, that I quite like. I've seen it before, obviously. Not my favourite.
I will say Tony in chat has mentioned you might be wearing something that might be part of your favourite sporting movie.
No. I do like Karate Kid, but
it's a classic, isn't it?
Well, yeah, they've redone it, haven't they?
Has anyone seen the new one?
I've not bothered.
Oh, I think I saw a bit of one of it. It's just exactly the same, but different people and rubbish.
Yeah, but have you seen the YouTube one? The one on YouTube, right?
Oh, no, I haven't. No.
The series?
Yeah, the series where they roll it forwards 30 years.
Yeah, I didn't really like it. I think they kind of buried it, but that was me. I only watched 3 and then I quit. I just couldn't be arsed with it.
Yeah. I haven't seen it myself, but it's a nice idea.
I watched the other day, this isn't my favourite, I'm going to say a funny one after this. But I watched Mean Machine the other day, which is quite good.
Vinny.
Yeah, it's a laugh, isn't it?
Yeah. I quite like a bit of the old...
Is it still as good?
Yeah, and what's the funny one? I'm going to have to say something like Happy Gilmore.
That's not a bad movie. That's a Sunday evening,
I love it, man. I love it. The bastard bit my hand off.
There's like 4 versions of Mean Machine. There's an American one called Gridiron Gang, which is exactly the same, but just American football.
That was another quite good film. Just going back from with Adam Sandler. He did a proper prison film, didn't he? Wasn't that American football? Something to do with American football?
I think that was Gridiron Gang, wasn't it?
Yeah. No. No, it was called The Longest Yard, wasn't it?
That's it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was a.
I don't know where that came from in my brain. I have never seen that film ever.
No,
my brain went.
It's not comedy. It's not comedy. He plays a good part in that.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what my favourite film would be. Richard,
Yes. Okay. Cool. Right. Let's do some of chats. Pete.
aren't you going to answer some questions though?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure.
Pete Truman has come up with a good one. Raging Bull.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yes.
Classic.
Yeah.
I was quite a bit. Selby had a good one. Kingpin. That's a great movie.
Yeah.
I watched Gladiator. Is it called Gladiator? Not Gladiator. What's the Tom Hardy UFC one?
Oh, I can't remember.
Warrior.
Warrior. That's a
Yeah,
good
yeah.
film. That was really good.
Yeah.
He's good, isn't he? I like that. I like him.
Tom Hardy is fucking brilliant.
And funny.
Oh, Scotty Bogfoot mentions Waterboy.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, another good one.
Oh, how did I not remember Waterboy?
Chariots of Fire.
Mm-hmm.
It's a classic again. Dion's gone with Kickboxer.
That's Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah, that's right.
What the fuck is my brain doing? It's coming up with shit I don't even think
You're
about.
obsessed with sport, John.
I love it.
Kuzza said rollerball.
Oh yeah, Rollerball.
The guy who's worked with Simon and my friend, his granddad was in Rollerball. He is token black guy at the beginning. He goes past
Nice.
the camera. It's the only time he's in it.
Nice.
Jesus.
1975. So was he actually a black guy, or was he just
Yeah,
blacked
yeah.
up?
No, he was a black guy. There's only one in it, but he goes past.
Ali, Field of Dreams. Good shout.
It's not bad, but it withers under the lights, doesn't it? It's not great.
That's quite nice though, isn't it?
Who's the
It's seen better days.
who's the guy who does the voice in it? I can't think.
It's got to be Morgan.
Black
Freeman,
guy with the
I
odd
think.
eye.
Morgan Freeman.
No.
Oh yeah, Forrest Whitaker.
Is it? Yeah, it's Forrest Whitaker, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah, I think so. He kind of out acts Kevin Costner in about 3 seconds. It's sort of bad.
Chris Morrow, Fire in Babylon. You lot would have seen that.
No.
Cricket film. There was some other good shouts as well, but that's enough of that. My two favourite, I can't narrow it down past two. My two favourite are Draft Day with Kevin Costner and Moneyball with Brad Pitt.
I
There you go.
I don't know. I don't know what that is.
I think I've seen Draft Day. I've got a funny, weird feeling I have
Kevin
seen
Costner, Draft Day, and then Moneyball as well with Brad Pitt. Both of those are my two favourite sport films.
None of us have
But
mentioned.
I love sport films. I love them.
What about Rocky?
it. Oh, good point.
Yeah, someone did say Rocky, to be fair.
Okay.
Mark Selby said Teen Wolf. I'm not sure that counts. And someone said Gladiator as well. That definitely doesn't count.
Does not count. I think
Well, if Chariots of Fire counts, Gladiator's got to count, hasn't it?
the latest Rocky, because they've kind of revisited with a young lad, it's shit.
Yeah.
Creed.
What was that called?
Creed,
Oh, I haven't
yeah.
seen
Creed.
anything new.
I tried to get through it on the flight over back
Rocky
from Sri Lanka.
1 and 2 and 3. That's about
Josh
it.
Main said Dodgeball. That's a good shout.
That is a good shout.
So that's that. For lunch, I had a can of pig soup.
Okay.
I've
You
been
just-
having those. You get 2 for £2 in this local shop down here.
The
You
little tall
struggle
one
to find
or
a can
medium?
of soup now.
Just a normal, regular size
Oh,
one.
get a big one, mate. Live the dream.
Did you crack it open, just down it?
Just scull it.
Cooked it.
Microwave, 3 minutes, job done.
Yeah, 3.5. And what I also did was, my kids don't eat the crusts of their sandwiches.
Right.
Dip those in.
That's not a bad idea. I'm a
Yeah.
crust fan. I'm like that. I don't mind at all. Don't mind a bit of crust.
Put ours
I
on your
love
chest. And
I'm a
all that.
massive crust fan, and I'm really upset because so is my daughter, and she
nightmare.
loves pizza, but she will only eat the crust of a pizza.
Only the
So-
crust. God, my kids
So
don't.
for the last
Rosie
6
won't eat the
months,
crust.
I haven't been able to eat the crust of my pizza because she's standing there waiting for the crusts.
Does she like it with the garlic mayo dip stuff? The aioli that you get with the Domino's?
No,
No, I
we
do.
the-
I have to admit, I
old
do,
school.
Rick.
Yeah, you got to, haven't you?
Yeah. Lovely.
I'm being accused of peaking too early by dipping into the canned stuff. And that's a fair point, but
Yeah, that
Get it done.
shit's going to be hen's
the fresh
teeth.
stuff.
soon.
I kind of eat like it's post-apocalypse all the time.
Yeah, that's what I do too.
Everything's pasta and sauce, super noodles, pot noodles, cans of stuff. So
Yeah.
that's just my life, really. Welcome to my world, everyone. Mark Selby's absolutely furious that Teen Wolf doesn't count.
It does count. I told him it did.
He doesn't count.
Yeah, of course.
It's about basketball.
It's not
I've
about
never
basketball.
seen it, and I
He
know
does
it
do
doesn't
basketball in it, doesn't he?
You've never seen it, Brad?
That's like saying Napoleon Dynamite counts because he
go.
does a jump on his bike.
I was wondering
Napoleon
if I
Dynamite
counted because he does
definitely
table
counts.
tennis and American football.
It doesn't
ET
fucking count.
would be a BMX cross.
Yeah, it works.
What was the table tennis movie? Now that you mentioned table tennis,
I don't know. I just said Forrest Gump.
Blades of Glory.
No, that's ice skating. That would count, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would count.
There's a table tennis movie. That's the fucking.
Oh, what
that's the
about
one.
what about? Oh man, it's probably the best film ever that contains sport. It's The Big Lebowski.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Again, I
shit.
would say that doesn't count.
No,
The dude.
The dude, it's so good in that. I love that.
Cinderella Man. It's a good film. No one said that.
Oh, Nick Smith came up with Caddyshack.
Caddyshack, Quality.
Yeah.
I
Top
think that
Drawer.
would count.
There's loads. There's a lot of good sport films. But because it's such an evocative subject, you know, every actual sport does play out like a movie sometimes, doesn't it? Yeah. So that is a thing. Week's been shit because coronavirus and that. Yeah, working from home is just shit. It's nice if no one else is working from home,
Oh,
but you know,
Yeah.
families here, kids are here, and
Yeah,
everyone you're trying to get to do work is also working from home, so they're not bothered. It's just awful. So hating that.
where you work? You working from where you're sat right now?
Kind of it.
Fuck. Fair enough.
Vaping on the best direct-to-lung RTA ever made, Squape Enduro.
It's a hunk.
They've released some sexier tanks now, barrel sections. So if you prefer a sharper looking version, you can get that now. Also, still the swag.
I like that.
Look at that. That looks nice. That little.
Yeah, it's a tidy little thing. Little thing. And then also with a top secret juice, experimental development juice. Inside it is the nunchaku.
How is it? How is the juice?
Well, I cherry picked for one that I knew I would like first. I've just literally just cracked them open. So it was blue raspberry.
Is it 50-50?
It's quite, yeah, I think it is.
I know what it is, so I know it is.
I just told you it was blue raspberry.
No, I knew it was 50-50 because I know what liquid it is. But it didn't. It's not falling through then.
PG is underrated. We should talk about this. We should slide this into the next thing, which is talking about vaping stuff.
Okay, yeah. I'm talking about vaping stuff section.
Oh, right. We're going to talk about that.
I think as a community, as a hobbyist vaping community, we have violently gone to war on PG, and there's no wrong with PG.
I've gone back to the PG. I've gone back to it for 6 milligram and single coil.
The amount of people that I get comments from, messages from, direct messages from all the platforms saying, "Oh, you said this sub tank was brilliant. I got it, and it's not quite wicking fast enough." And it's you're on Max VG using a Max VG juice.
To be fair, I always mix it 70-30. So
yeah,
and my black current is
fine, but everyone's on 90.
60-40. So it depends what you want from your juice, doesn't it? It all depends what you're vaping on, doesn't it?
I've also started heading back towards sort of 60-40, 70-30 sort of range.
Yeah, I'm generally 60-40 most of the time now.
Max VG is for dripping and squonking, isn't it?
The cloud vapes, yeah.
Everything kind of changed a bit. Well, the other thing is, but the flavours changed around what was the norm as well. They're definitely more. They're not quite at American levels where it's too much and you get bored.
The whole intolerance thing just comes from 1% of people or even less.
Yeah, I can't vape below when we were doing 70-30 the other way.
Yeah.
I had an issue where I always had a dry mouth and it made my tongue itch.
It used to be harsh, didn't it? If you tried anything a bit cloudier.
But 50-50 was fine. Once we got to 50-50, I was all right. It's fine. It's cool.
I mean, Max VG is what is for super sub on mechs, in my opinion, almost. And these cloudy tanks that you're getting now, where people are chucking 100 watts through them.
Yeah, you were. But if you get 50-50,
better on 80-20 or 70-30.
Well, they're always 80-20, to be fair.
Yeah,
Most
80-20.
max VG is 80-20, unless you're aligned, because you can't buy.
You,
I suppose you could.
can get
No,
it
you
more.
can't.
You can get it a bit higher than that, but not much higher.
The
than that.
flavourings are shit.
Generally,
That's the problem.
flavourings are 20%.
The other thing is PG. If this is still right, if this was
correct.
old vapor logic, but
It carries the flavour.
carries the flavour.
It's totally true. It does.
Well, VG mutes the flavour.
VG's a lot sweeter than PG, so it does mute it because of that. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So I would strongly recommend people just put a dash more PG back in. If you're mixing it up from, one of John's things or something
If you would
like
like a kit from me, stick it in a comment as well. If you want a kit and you want it 70-30, we can always do it 70-30.
So everyone gets
I will
everyone
stick
gets 2 nick shots if they get a kit from you, don't they, John?
They're VG. We buy them VG on purpose.
Yeah, but you get 2 nick shots, don't you?
Yep.
So do you have PG nick shots available?
No, I've got PG though, and I can just do it. I can just do it.
But the
custom.
concentrates will be in PG, won't they?
Yep, so that'll make it 80-20. But
That's
if somebody
80-20 straight away.
custom, if you wanted to put 60-40 in your comment, I'll make it that. If you want to put 70-30, I'll do that. People ask, I do 50-50.
Crack's not even 20%, is it? That's even higher. So it's going to be 70-30, isn't it?
That's always 70-30. Crack is always 70-30, and so is pistache. It's always 70-30. But anyway, going back to it, if you want to custom ask me something, yeah, I'll do it. I can do it to
put it in the
50-50.
notes of the order or whatever. But
Yeah.
I just feel as a vaping community, we've just gone too far down this max VG route.
It got. Well, I remember the arguments at the beginning. You see, because of what the max VG thing. We used to. People go, no, it's 100% VG, and you go, it isn't.
Oh,
They go, it is. You go, it's not. That's not possible.
You could. There are VG concentrates, aren't they? Just shit ones. So you
But I could be a
shit.
total wanker to you and say that it would still end up as 99.99999.
Yeah, because of the actual nicotine in.
Because of the actual nicotine and anything that's in the flavour, so it wouldn't ever be.
It'd be 99.7.
Yeah, it'd be something stupid. Yeah, but most of the time, max VG means 80-20.
well, at least they're saying max VG now, which is something, isn't it?
Yeah, he used to say 100%, which is bullshit.
But that I just think so many times I get comments.
100% of the dilutant is VG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So,
Just to be technical.
what else do we want to talk about?
I was just having a quick scan. I did have a quick scan of the news earlier, but it's not even worth talking about. The main news is what was disproved last week. So the Mirror have run with it, the Express have run with it, Daily Fuckface Fail have run with it, and a couple other people, which is coronavirus. Are you more susceptible because you vape? Answer, no. And the other one is, can it be passed on in vapor? Don't try not to spit.
Just like it's breathing can pass.
It is as dangerous as breathing. Vapor wouldn't hold. It's not lighter than air. It wouldn't.
That bullshit news that you just said about vaping and passing on and making you more susceptible to kind of.
Yeah.
You know what they've just done there? They've just realised that smoking makes you ill. Basically,
Yeah.
you're more likely to die from coronavirus if you smoke. Somebody clever has just bolted vaping, smoking, and vaping onto
They tried to be clever, but
Then
weirdly,
someone's just taken the smoking off and put vaping.
the
It's Chinese whispers.
I've gone mad now. Who are our advocates of choice? My brain's gone. IBVTA had disproved it last week. They'd actually got a scientist to go through it and said no. There's a whole thing about it. So if you want the script on it, they've already proved it's not
But
true.
Someone clever, some clickbait company has had the
It's
headlines
it's
smoking.
literally the top 6 vaping news articles in the last 5 days are that.
But it came from that, don't you think? I mean, somebody
Yeah,
said
of course.
smoking. They obviously get more hits if it's got vaping in the title. So they've put smoking and vaping. They've lumped them together.
Weirdly, Yahoo, if anybody's ever used Yahoo News, is leading with, and it's the second article in the news today, is I don't know if you know, but vitamin E acetate. Oh, it's not good for you. Oh, is it not? Fuck me, Yahoo. How far fucking behind the shit are you, you twat? You did it.
That would explain
What's the back-
what happened to you who happened.
Have a fucking vitamin pill instead.
We
of vape vitamins.
while we are just shooting the shit, John, you should tell people about the show you was on last night and your podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yes, this is my third show this week. I'm on Sunday. My friend Liam asked me to be on his podcast, which is called The Man Cave. It's quite difficult to find because there are quite a few shows called that. But I'm going to put it's released this Sunday at 6 p.m. And when it goes live, I will let everybody know and put it in our Facebook group if you want to watch it. It's not about vaping. It was Liam interviewing me about me, and I didn't shut the fuck up. It's basically that, really, for an hour. It's quite weird trying to explain vaping to people not in the industry, and it's even weirder if you've had the route I've had, or anybody on this show, Brad and Richard and Rick, when you're trying to say to somebody, go to London a few times a year, meet up with people. Sometimes people want to take your picture, they just want to have a beer, or they want you to sign something. That's quite weird outside of where we are. And I think there's a little bit about my old job, just general bits and stuff like that.
Is it the Man Cave podcast?
Yeah, it's called the Man Cave podcast. So it's called the UK Man Cave podcast. But as I say, I'm going to put links to the podcast and the show and the YouTube show on the group. It's live on Sunday, 6 p.m. And last night, on Monday, I got a message from the fabulous Aidan from Little Bro Vapes, who asked me to be on 3 Men and a Vape, their live show they do every Wednesday at 8 o'clock from 8 p.m. till 9 p.m. With Dave, the Salford Vapor. So it's me, Dave, the Salford Vapor, and Aidan, Little Bro Vapes, talking about stuff. If you want to go over to the channel, Aidan's such a nice guy. I only met him because Richard knows him, and Richard said, we should have him on the show. And I was like, never, hadn't heard of him. Went back, watched the shows, and he's just this big ball of niceness. Really nice guy. Ex-club singer and ex-backing singer from Mike and the Mechanics and stuff. He's a really nice guy.
Does he sing in the pub style? Like Vick and Bob?
yeah, I think he sings.
Yeah, he does.
I had a great time. Yeah, just sat there last night for 8. It's from like 8 till 9, 10 past 9, something, chatting away. Good. I enjoyed that. I've got a John Honori. It's a good John Honori, and it's apt. You'll like it.
Will you give us a John Honori, and then I've got some news.
All right, you'll like this John Honori.
Okay.
Yesterday, my wife had the day off work, and she been waiting to do the stairs at home, wax the stairs. We've got wooden stairs in our old cottage, and she said,
and you're going to fall down those, aren't you?
Well, no, it's funnier than that.
Okay.
So she bought some. We bought some. Is it called brie wax?
No, that's a cheese.
Brie wax. I'm sure it's called something like that.
Beeswax.
Yeah, it's beeswax, but it's beeswax
Mixed with brie.
Yeah, that's it. I can't remember what it's called now. Anyway,
Smell great.
tin of beeswax. And sound of the stairs down. And yesterday evening, she put it on. She put the wax on the stairs and treating it. And that was when I was doing the show. She was still carrying on doing it. Finished last night. Went downstairs, watched a couple of episodes of the US Office, and was just sitting there going, "Oh, that's not good." Dry cough. Shit. My wife's sitting there, a bit the same. She said, "I think it's the fumes," and I'm thinking, I don't know, because we popped to the shop. Went to bed last night, coughed my way to sleep. Wife coughed her way to sleep. Woke in the morning. She was sitting watching the TV this morning, eating her breakfast, trying not to cough and thinking, if I don't cough, then it doesn't count. So she was just sitting there. She went to work. I got ready for work this morning. Still the same. And just before I walked out the door, I thought I'd better read the side of that can. Yeah. Can cause throat irritation. You want to do that in a well-ventilated area. So I was sending videos to people this morning saying I kept coughing last night. It turns out it was this, holding up the can of wax. But the neighbours have nailed the door shut, so I won't be going anywhere today. Just should have shit yourself. And even I had the electricity meter changed today to a smart meter, and the guy turned up and he said, "Is it all right? Am I still okay to come today?" He said, "Absolutely fine. We don't have any problems. Do you?" And he said, "No." And I said, well, "That's okay. Yeah, no problem. Pop down and do it." And I said, "May I please warn you, before you enter the house, when you leave, you might develop a cough. It's not from that. It's from the wax on the stairs. I'm so sorry if that happened." Yeah. Bloody embarrassing. That's what it was.
He must have thought, what?
Yeah, I was right. There you go. Cuz Steve. Briwax, Briwax. Briwax, I don't know. That. Yeah, stairs. Oh, lovely.
Slippery though, John. You're likely to have a tumble down there, aren't you?
Slippery when
No.
You'll have a tumble one of these days. I'm waiting for it.
At least when he falls and he lands face first, and smell really pretty.
There was no carpet. There was no carpet on them anyway, and I already had fallen down them a lot.
You're due a tumble in that house, though, aren't you?
I've had a few. Don't worry, man. I've already done it.
Have you done one?
Yeah. Did I show you the picture? I fell in the stairs, cut my foot on like the yawl post, and I had a big purple foot for like 2 days. It was all right. Anyway,
we can't tell the difference now between.
I just do it all the time. Yeah. It's like
the stairs and the pavement.
Wisdom.
Just stand there and throw yourself down it once a year, I reckon. Tom, just go fuck it.
Yeah, he's just looking for sympathy.
Brad.
Yes. Well, this news comes with a proviso.
Yeah, that's right.
Proviso.
You're okay. We have to help him with his English. He's not English.
You do. John is not allowed to interject until I ask a question at the end.
Okay.
Primarily because this leans on him because of he's down there. Because he's in the industry in that space. So several articles I found today. First one by our favorite, IBVTA. March 17th, IBVTA writes to business and public health ministers requesting that vape shops be added to the essential services and not be forced to close their doors in the event that Boris escalates it to full lockdown. And I thought their approach and letter was interesting, and I liked it, and also questioned it and thought, okay, well, I'll talk about that tonight. Then while doing a bit of digging, I found they're not the only ones. The other association in the UK did exactly the same thing, same letter, same people they wrote to. So I went and had a look in France and Spain. And this is where it gets interesting, and I wanted everyone to answer this question, and we'll start with Richard, then Rick, and John, you can go last to give us the inside information. As France officially transitions into, this is a little bit out of date, this is 2 weeks.
Last week, yeah.
As France officially transitions into stage 3 with regards to precautions against coronavirus, blah, blah, blah. PM has asked all non-essential businesses to remain closed. In France, vaping does not fall under the tobacconist shops, which are allowed to stay open, so they were forced to close. The vapingpost.com asked a question here, and I'm going to ask it to the three of you. That is unrelated. Should vape shops be considered a public health utility? Richard?
Well, to answer that question, I would need to ask a question. Are petrol stations?
Yes. Well, they're not public health, but they're an essential.
They're not on the list. They're
services.
Specific ones are.
But it's still a petrol shop. Petrol station.
If all the petrol stations are open,
but you have to keep quiet till the end.
Okay.
If all the petrol stations were open, we could get away without vape shops, I guess. Just vapes are in petrol stations, aren't they?
It is easy enough to get what we're looking for from there, I suppose. But I mean, not your chosen variety, but from
but
just
anyone in
not
our
should
world,
vape shops.
anyone in our world has enough vapes and juice to last a decade.
Yeah.
So,
but
we're not
the
running
question is not that. The question is, should vape shops be considered a public health utility? Because that goes beyond coronavirus.
Yeah, I worry about things like that. I worry about things like that. Would that put them under certain other stipulations and regulations and monitoring and stuff like that?
Yeah.
That would be my worry.
If a tobacconist is under those, I think in this case, is a tobacconist considered a service?
Are allowed to stay open.
Well, that's the only reason why I would say yes then. But to be perfectly honest, I don't think either are.
It's a bit antiquated, isn't it?
They're a choice. I mean, they are a choice that we make. They are an addiction, but that doesn't make it public health, a health service. I do appreciate, yes, vaping does help you stop smoking, if you want to say that. But not really, no. I don't think a vape shop should be.
It's kind of antiquated, isn't it? Because like supermarkets sell everything now.
Yeah, but it's not even about what you get. It's actually, is a vape shop a health gain? Yeah.
Well, it's a tobacconist.
A tobacconist certainly isn't. You know, they should be shut. I think probably any of everything else is shut except things that are there for health. Vaping should be shut.
But it's anti-competition, isn't it? If supermarkets are open and they can sell fags.
Yeah, I mean that's the problem. That's the grey area. Yeah, maybe they should be told they're not. Well, no, you can't tell them to not sell something, can you?
Yeah, you can't tell them not to sell fags. Because John, please
Food and
feel
drink.
free to educate us. Yeah,
food and drink and medicine are requirements.
None of you.
Extra, isn't it?
You could have all fallen back on a really obvious thing here. So what's the piece of paper that came in 2 years ago? What's it called again? That your all to work under. What's that called again?
Oh, so what you're saying is a tobacco shop, a vape shop, technically is a tobacconist.
It is. By EU law, it falls under the Tobacco Products Directive, so therefore it is a tobacco shop.
Yeah, a tobacco shop shouldn't be in.
You can't have it. You can't have it both ways. That's fucking ridiculous. It's either tobacco or it's not. Yeah. They called it tobacco.
Tobacco Products Directive.
It's bullshit. They've done exactly the same in Italy as well. You've got to be really, really careful. Richard definitely is correct. You've got to really avoid that health tag. We've done this discussion 4 years ago, like not on the show. I mean, just mean in the community in general. You don't want to do that because you'd push the vape shops into pharmacies. There wouldn't be anything. You'd have to have a pharmacist license. They'd all go bust immediately. All the vape
we
shops.
need to be grouped with something like caffeine, don't we, and coffee, which is a mild addiction that you really, coffee shop and a vape shop is.
But the fuck up in this is the TPD. Is that the tobacco? They're calling it tobacco, so we can. That's ridiculous. If they were to call it that, we can. It's the same in Italy. They've got the same problem. I know. I'm reading a R2 who's been on this old show. Italian, fantastic Italian. His shop's shut, and people can't get anything. All he wanted was to open for an hour or something a week, so that people could just get in, get the stuff, and go. But they wouldn't let them do it.
Well, yeah, and somebody else is saying it's also like, I mean, I know it's an addiction, isn't it? I mean, nicotine is an addiction, much like alcohol. So an off license should be in the same group as a tobacconist.
Yeah, it's really clever. I don't know why they've let
some people that need that alcohol. If they're, alcoholics need their alcohol.
It'd be really good if vape shops had kind of the respect of an optician's, but without the legislation. Because they're providing a great service.
Would have been in an ideal world, you wouldn't need to point that out. You would have had people actually make and there are plenty that do. I will say that there are lots and lots of shops that stay on what I would call the side of not being a twat. The one in the one in town near you, Rick.
Prohibition,
perfect, right on the money. That is,
yeah.
It's like a classy bar.
Yeah,
you know, and you could easily stay on that side of the line.
And
you
knowledgeable vapors who will help you.
Yeah,
and advise
but
you
could if that was a funky glasses place, you'd be fine with it as well. It's not garish and shit. Sax Vapes down the road from me, exactly the same. They're just on the right side of that, not just a you know. It's not. It doesn't look like a skate shop or something. Yeah, I think it's shit.
What is your opinion, Brad?
He's changed it because he forgot about the TPD.
I have changed it. I completely forgot about the TPD. I naively did not make the association, which Richard pointed out, with the risk of associating yourself as health. All of that instantly makes me think, well, sure as shit don't want to be that. It is recognized as tobacco, so they can't have it both ways.
Sure.
John's right. They can actually stay open.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's worth getting that message out. If anyone knows a vape shop owner who's worried about this stuff, it's that there's technically they are allowed to continue.
You are, they are going to be named. It doesn't. They're not. They do it the other way in the UK. It's different. It's what's they're going to. If we go in the total lockdown, it's we're just going to see what's in it. It's going to be everything. We need total lockdown for some people. The pubs who they should be able to. They can't claim on their insurance, and that's out of. And the restaurants. Friends who work in friends of ours who work in restaurants.
I don't even think that there should be a lockdown.
But if there is, you can't. At the moment,
there shouldn't even be advice.
At the moment, there's advice not to go out, and there's people suffering.
We got the band A, B, and C people, haven't we? Where C are the elderly and susceptible.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have trouble if they get coronavirus. They need to be in quarantine. They shouldn't be going to pubs and restaurants. The rest of us.
Yeah, but the problem is if band A and B go out and we get it, we'll survive. But we're also going to go and see band C and kill them.
Yeah, band A should still be going to pubs and restaurants because we need to be getting it and getting past it. And then we swap.
But band A will pass it to band C.
Not if band A don't. No, not if band C are in lockdown.
That would work. I think there'd be some logic in that if we were more confident about the herd immunity gamble.
That is what we're doing, though, isn't it? I mean, that's the reason the schools have stayed open, to try and spread it to the parents, and we lock ourselves down for 2 weeks.
There's kind of no evidence that this particular virus will get through it with herd immunity. There's no evidence to support that. The vaccine is
once you've got it, you can't be reinfected.
The vaccine is a lot closer than they thought it was going to be.
Yeah, but the trials, you can't. The thing is, you're still months and months and months. You're half a year minimum.
Red tape will kill people.
They're not going to let them do it.
Yeah,
I agree with you, Richard.
But herd immunity, the vaccine, if they're as confident as they sound, then if they expedite trials, we're maybe 4 months away.
Yes. Yeah, I'll give you that.
Herd immunity is at least 4 months away, if it's even a thing for this virus.
Well, it'd be nice to know that you can pick it up and catch it, and it doesn't really do a lot to you, and you're not really worried about it anymore, and you can get on with your business. That's the thing, isn't it? 'Cause it's not as bad as some people think. You know, it's plenty of people that will get it and might even realise they got it. They just feel a little bit under the weather, but they've had it. You know?
Like John Malcolm says in chat, herd immunity didn't work with smallpox until mass worldwide vaccination. True. So it does depend on the virus, you know, as to whether herd immunity is even a thing. You know, I'm sure we're going to talk about this in a minute. But the amount of bullshit that has been spread in the last 5 or 6 days is so swamping. People saying people have caught it twice. Absolutely not. They've explained that, haven't they?
False positives, and then people have just got it and then got it. That's not the same thing.
The way the current test kit works.
Yeah.
It takes some of cells from the back of your throat, but this virus predominantly lives in your lungs. So if you have a test, if you take a coronavirus test and it says you've got it, then you have got it. But if it says you haven't got it, you may still have it. And that's because it's taking it from the throat. You might have it in the lungs, and so it'll say you haven't got it, but you have got it. And they reckon the people that may have had it twice, they reckon that in the middle of that they had a test and they passed that test but still had it.
Yeah, because the viral epicenter was in a chest, not in the testing portion of the throat.
Yeah.
Adam in chat has said what I am actually meaning. I don't think herd immunity is what they're looking to do, but they are looking to protect the NHS.
And they're trying to, as I say,
they want to keep the beds full.
Flatten the curve.
They want to keep the beds full. They don't want to be spilling over. We've all, it's got to pass through us, and it's going to make some people very ill, and there need to be beds for them. It is about the curve, but it's not about hiding away from it. Total lockdown at an early stage it's just prolonging the inevitable. It's going to happen. We're all going to be catching it, and it just needs to be managed how the NHS can cope with it.
Oh, wait there, Mark from Sax Vapes. Let me just say, because they're my closest shop, and I'm Dan and Mark and a whole lot of Sax Vapes are really fantastic. And he's just said that if you're within 10 miles of Sax Vapes, they'll deliver to you. If they've got to shut the shop and you've got to call up, you can call up and they'll deliver it. They'll go door to, drop it outside your door. So let me just say that.
Cool.
Somebody pointed out something.
Loving it, yeah.
Two things. I'd already said it in chat. Don't.
Not the beds. John Malcolm's saying the beds are already full. No, John, it's not all the beds. It's the IC units that we need.
We're gonna go deep with that.
Yeah, we don't want to go too far down that.
No. Don't post the names of websites that illegally sell nicotine in the UK. I've already just removed one. Don't do that. You can't legally buy 72 milligram nicotine in the UK unless you own a liquid. Yeah, unless you own a liquid company. There's no way you can do it. If you register as a company, you break the law. If you buy it, they break the law. It's absolutely stupid. Just saying, I don't care what you do.
We're fine for people to do that, but
I'm fine for people to do it. Don't do it. Don't
forum.
give people advice in chat where to get it. Number two, because weirdly we were talking about this yesterday, and somebody's just touched on it, which is if the postal service keeps running, they're going to be fine. Having spoken to my postman today, this sounds like, oh no, this bloke. He's a very sensible person though. And we're in a small village, but luckily the sorting office is also here. This is going to come down to the unions and not the government. When it's the post office and the union split down as far as your local, whatever your local post office is. There's a lot of people who are in the, what are we calling it? Susceptible, in at-risk group.
Yeah.
Who currently work for the post office as postmen and women who, so we're talking about people who've got lung issues, people who've got type 1 diabetes, people who've got heart conditions, people who are recovering from cancer who are currently working in the postal service.
Low immunity, all that stuff, yeah.
Yeah, and the union is they're not sure what they're going to do, but you're going to get some idea of what's happening on Monday. I'm optimistic hit where I am because they've all just ditched their days off to make sure that people get their post, which I think is an incredible thing to do, to say, no, we're going to work 6 days a week. The annoying thing is morons, they're busier than they even are at Christmas. And it is not items, it's not food items coming through the post, it's not e-liquid coming through the post. As the local postman said to me, who the fuck is wearing it? Why the fuck are you ordering a dress? What are you going to do with that? Pop it on, take a couple of pictures, leave it. You can't leave the house. Pointless. Everybody's going mad buying clothes and stuff like that online.
Just bored.
Self-isolating and bored at home.
Yeah, it's really weird. So what he suggested was, rather than the postal service stopping, I think we can expect delays from next week.
Also,
maybe
you don't need don't need to be going out to wear a nice dress. Rick will tell you this. He's got 2 daughters. They get all dressed up and all sorted out just for an Instagram picture.
Oh, okay. That's what I did.
Take a picture and then they get all changed back again.
Oh, okay. Right. Cheer up, John. I'm cheery.
One more piece, if we've got
Not
time.
you, John. It's not you, John.
Yeah, it's Malcolm. Yeah, it's John Malcolm. Anyway, I'm optimistic with that. When it comes to the postal service, fingers crossed, you're very likely to live near a post office that is going to become an essential service, so you can get to it, and you can in France, and you can in Italy, and I think you can in Spain go to the post office. So you still can, and they're still delivering, but it's slow. And don't forget, they've closed their customs. Not closed their customs completely, but everything's going through at snail's pace. Everything's getting checked. So if you want something, get it ordered.
You're part of the problem.
Me? How's that?
Because by saying that, you're causing panic posting.
No, I'm not. I told you there wouldn't be a problem.
Up in the
No, they're not signing, though, are they? They're not taking signatures for the post, are they?
No, if they're
signing it themselves.
If you're, it depends, and it depends who you are. I get post every day, so the postman just signs it and just chucks it. But it does depend who you are, and it depends whether they want to take that.
Well, even for me, like, I'm new here. None of the postmen know me yet. They've all been self-signing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, fine.
Yeah, self-signing.
Even with, that's before I tell them I'm isolating, so I'm not opening the door till you fucked off. But they're self-signing and either popping it in or putting it down there and just knocking and buggering off.
Yeah, they are. Andy Fairchild just said we all moan about posties from time to time, but in my experience, they're mostly good people. But that's the thing. Most people,
they're great. Mate. They are great.
But most people in the world is mostly full of good people. It really is. That is true.
Yeah, it's the only problem with the world is that the bad cunts are louder than the good cunts.
Fuck them. Don't matter. They have to wake up every day as that cunt.
Sorry, Richard. I
Postman's always got a
realised
smile on his face.
you haven't said that yet in the show, so I had to say it twice.
Oh,
really.
no, sorry, yeah. I'm sorry.
I did have some positive news just to lift the mood.
Let's go for it.
And it's vape-ish related.
Have you moved your camera, Brad? In the last
No, it's just
10
me.
minutes?
Your mic's quiet when you talk, and then suddenly the volume picks up as well.
Hi.
You seemed closer all of a sudden.
Hi.
But now you're back to being normal again.
It's
fine. It's fine. We love it.
Okay, I'll lean back.
Anyway.
Hello, everybody. Can you see me? Okay. Anyway, happier news. Still Corona related. Still vape-ish related. Londonderry vaping firm supplies free hand sanitizers to those in need. And it's an article out of Belfast.
Right.
Stupid question, Tom. Belfast is Scotland, eh?
No, Ireland.
Ireland, mate.
Ireland.
Definitely
you're
North
one
or
of them.
South Ireland.
Just didn't know which
It's
one.
Northern Ireland, Belfast.
They've got the best accent.
Anyway, they are an e-liquid manufacturer based there in what I now know is Ireland.
Who is? Have I missed a bit?
I'm looking.
You said London. Did you mean Londonderry or something?
Oh, Londonderry.
Londonderry.
Right. That's Northern Ireland.
That's different to London.
Used to be called Derry, and now it's called Londonderry.
That's a different place, slightly, a little bit different.
And people wonder why I get confused because it's got.
It is, to be
Belfast
fair.
and
To be
London in the
fair, if
same
you're looking at that from
sentence.
outside, it's very confusing.
Yeah. So anyway, the company who is based there, and I've lost their bloody name in this long ass article, which I'm not reading the whole thing because it'll bore you. They're an e-liquid manufacturer. They tried sourcing hand sanitizer for their staff. They couldn't get any, obviously. They realized that the process of manufacturing it was similar to what they were going through with e-liquid manufacturing. So they started manufacturing their own, which they are selling and providing into supermarkets. But on top of which they're providing it for free into their local lists here: care homes, hospitals, elderly charities. Yeah, so I just thought it was nice and positive, something that within the vape industry they've evolved to see a need, manufacture. There, Rick's holding up there, manufacturing at scale.
I made it.
Hand sanitizer.
Have
and
you got
providing it for
ethanol?
free within their community.
It's just VG and fairy liquid.
No, I
isn't it?
use isopropyl alcohol.
Yeah, as long as it's high enough.
I tell you who else
And
is
it-
doing it.
99.9% pure.
Did you mix it with VG?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Done.
And a bit of lime called concentrate.
I tell you who else is doing it. I tell you who else is
Will it
doing
be
it.
sticky,
Brewdog.
Yeah,
Brewdog
Brewdog doing it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I really thought was
Okay.
surprising? How many people pissed on it straight away. I posted the thing up. People want to see the band and stuff everywhere. Oh, you're not selling it. They're giving it away to services. They're
To
giving it away to
services,
essential
yeah.
services.
But
It might end up on eBay, but they didn't. They are giving it away to essential services.
yeah, but I wonder if that was their initial
plan, and
plan.
I genuinely thought it was a meme.
Yeah, it does look a bit memey, but because they even bothered to do a fancy label and everything. Swings and roundabouts. It's a bit of a marketing exercise. I also wonder if when they set out to do it, it was for services, and then their PR went, might not want to sell this.
Yeah, actually, let's not profiteer on this.
Some places doing well though, aren't they? Some places doing all right, like butchers.
I agree. People, and there are a lot of people being fuckheads out there.
But like butchers, I've never had it so good.
I tell you,
Been moaning for
support your
years.
support your local greengrocer and butcher. He's going to have your meat for you.
I tell you who, yeah, but the people who are taking the piss are people who've got shitty vegan cafes already that couldn't sell fucking thing, and now pretending that they're doing the world a favour, and they're not. They're just taking the piss.
Jose Raul das Syndicat says, "Can we just do a geography quiz with Brad, just for the next 20 minutes?
Just name different places.
We
in
just
the
name
country.
places." Yeah.
Just know that I'm going to fail that exam.
It really doesn't matter.
I'll fail.
You'd have got killed for what you said. If you
lived in Ireland or Northern
If there
Ireland.
was a Northern Irish person and you'd have done that, you'd have been dead. If you'd have asked where Belfast was and said Scotland,
I'm now
they'd have
not
got the
going to
fist
Ireland
back.
or Scotland.
They'd have got the fist back, and then they'd have realised you took the Derry off Londonderry, and then they'd have killed you. Yeah. Deal, that's a good point. You should watch Derry Girls. You'd enjoy that if you're stuck in the house. It's a comedy program set in Northern Ireland. It's really good.
Yeah.
I
But in a
will add
way,
that to the list.
John was more racist.
What do I do?
Saying that Irish people would kill him just because they're Irish. All Irish people are Sinn Féin, according to John.
Mostly. I mean, come on, let's be serious.
Yeah, it's true.
They're nice little people. They're
Not
all right.
Sinn Féin.
I feel sorry for them. They couldn't do their St Patrick's Day. They like a
Not
drink.
Sinn Féin.
Mick Blizzard's just
Couldn't
jumped in.
either.
Just said, this is quite good. Nick Blizzard's today, a local post offices was known to be selling hand sanitizer at £19.99.
It's not actually cheap anyway, though, is it? For the
It's
proper
not.
stuff?
It isn't 20 quid.
No, it's not 20 quid.
20 quid.
No, I've got it. I've got hand sanitizer now locked in my inside pocket because nobody told us before, did they? Oh, we love touching our fucking faces. Didn't know. Turns out that is my number one hobby. I didn't know. Everybody says, "What's your hobby?" I say, "I haven't got one."
Massive fan.
Well, look, so
I'm a
in
massive
here,
fan.
what's the problem with touching your face?
It really
Well,
like
if
if
you've
you've
got
been touching
corona on your
surfaces,
hands,
you're gonna get
your
it.
face. You're gonna get corona.
You'll
in
get
your
corona.
lungs. Yeah, I tell you what I like doing: picking
If
my
I
nose in
shake
the
your
car.
hand and you give it to me and then I go...
Oh, we've got to go back to Richard because I missed the
To
end
get
of
it
that.
anyway, aren't we?
Once,
So,
once you know, it's
What's
a
that?
national pastime: picking
Dipping
your
your
nose in a
nose.
traffic jam. Now you know. Every time you're in one, just look around. That's what everyone else is doing.
Well, they do it dipping their nose. in the
Picking their
traffic.
nose.
Oh, picking their nose. In traffic jam. This is
It's an
dipping.
actual thing. It's an actual thing. The hours fly by. So that's how. Is there anything actually vape related we want to talk about? I tell you what I did earlier on. What I always do, I cruise Instagram to to sort of tell you about new stuff, and especially recently because I've been wanting to show that new stuff is things are still happening and all that, and they are. New stuff is happening, and I did find several things. But I tell you what, they're all pods.
Yeah, everything.
China is obsessed with pods. Tesla have a new pod coming out. UL have just sent me their new pod, which I didn't want. eLeaf have just released a new pod. Everyone is pod mad. I don't get it, because none of these pods have really broken through. Some AIOs have done all right, but someone's buying them. Someone's fucking
There's
buying them.
newbies are buying them, aren't they? The people
they buy them. They buy them and they don't work and they keep smoking.
Yeah, they either keep smoking or hopefully they switch to something that we vape on.
It's the new spinner, isn't it? It's the new spinner and clearomizer kit.
True.
Where everyone of a certain era all went through several spinners and then went, oh fuck it, I'm going to get a proper mod.
Yeah, I mean the bottom line is if you've got something that's tiny, the battery's going to last 5 minutes. It's not good enough, and that's in my opinion.
If the battery's not going to do you 9 till 5, then it's not suitable, is it? If the
I use about one battery a day with my single battery sponker.
Yep.
Lasts all day though. It'll do me all day.
I think it's underrated. That especially in the early days, it needs to be convenient. Vaping needs to be convenient.
That is convenient. We had it, and we're trying to look for something else, but we got it there.
It's okay to sort of buy into the fat of vaping over time, but as soon as if it's a chore from day one, you're not going to do it over smoking, are you?
No.
That's the one thing they got right with these Inican, the Endurers, and this one's actually called the Go S, but it's basically an Enduro.
Battery in it.
Yeah, it's a proper. That's a proper, 1,000 mile or whatever.
They are those the Endurers.
1,500 mile.
Everyone I've sent out with an Endurer has stopped smoking.
Yeah,
it just works. People say what they want, but they work.
Yeah, so that's the thing.
Let's go. I'm sure I can find. We're going to go vape.
I've got I've got an Elvis juice. Look at the new band in the boot.
New can.
I'm not sure I'm liking it though. I like the old can. I like is a comparison with the old style.
Yeah, they can almost do what they want now, though, can't they?
I like the.
We are. Let me
The
just.
same can be said for the last time they changed their branding in 2015, where they had that very sort of start-up. It was an actual punk style text and a story, and a really weird story. That was genius. And then they went to this can, which originally I hated, but now I fucking love it. The new cans and the new packaging is super, I don't want to say formal, but minimalist. And I do like it, but it's changed.
It's changed. I don't think it needed to change, really.
Let's go. We have got 2 bits of vaping news that we haven't done.
Ooh, vaping. Goody.
Yeah, which we both. It goes out your head because of what's been happening. Obviously, I'm sure people have read that Vape Expo in Birmingham has been cancelled, and Hall of Vape in Stuttgart has also been cancelled. So if you were planning to go to either of those events,
are you going to carry on, or is that it?
You can, because I wanted you to go. Yeah, wait a second. But that was the official. That was the official line.
Hold the phone, because that is correct. Exactly, completely correct. What you said there. However, the Expo people have said they're merging their two, and their Expo return is going to be the big one, the only one of the year. So they're still planning 100%, very hopeful. October 1 happens. They're wanting to do that. And today, very much today, literally today, Hall of Vape said that they are looking at an alternative date now. Originally, they weren't. It was definitely off for 2020. No Hall of Vape in 2020. But they have been in discussions now with a very sympathetic location. The location where they have it is they're actually moving things and trying to change things to actually get them a new date, possibly in the autumn. So Hall of Vape may still happen in the autumn, as opposed to May.
I think it could. I really think
because I
that's
was
got a chance.
really looking forward to Germany.
Yeah, me too. I think we also have to say that the way it stands right now, I don't see how the London meet of that weekend in May and April is going to go ahead.
There's no pubs.
There's no pubs.
There's
no
pubs. London's the
can't-
epicenter, isn't it? So
yeah, so sadly, even the ideal Ohm Show little pub meet is off as far as we can do as well. Sorry, because I was really looking forward to that because I like seeing everybody, and that would have been like I would have done Germany and then that, but that looks like that's gone too. So
I'm wondering if we can do some sort of in isolation meetup. Like, have you seen they're having like parties on things like Zoom and Skype? Is there a way we can just have a party?
we'd have to pay for a lot. We could do it. We could sort out like a big.
Everybody tunes in. Everybody can be on screen, or I don't know.
But I don't know. Could you imagine? But I don't know how that would work because it'd be such a.
People have been doing it though, haven't they? They've been having sort of parties and.
yeah,
We can look at it.
I still think end of August when we held ours.
Yep, we could do that.
Still a chance.
Okay, let's say that then. Let's call it the end of August bank holiday.
If we're gonna hold one like we did last year, I think end of August is still a chance. I mean, if we haven't returned back to normal by the end of August, then the entire world's economy is completely fucked anyway.
Yeah.
So we're all dead anyway.
So, okay, call it that then. We'll call it the bank holiday at the end of August. We will aim for that the Saturday before that, and we'll aim at it.
It's less than 500 people anyway, so it falls into that category.
Falls into that. Okay, bollocks.
Like Scottish
okay,
professional football.
fine. Well, you heard it here first. The IBM 2020.
Well, no, I mean, if we'll see, but that's
Maybe
I
that's
still
your
think
prelim.
it can happen technically.
I like that. Rick's already volunteered to be a DJ.
Yeah, man, we have a big online party. I'll play the music. I'll get the decks going, and I don't know how the software would do it. I don't know.
You can have about 30 people on Zoom, but I mean, if you're all talking at the same time,
You're never going to get shit done.
I don't know how it works. Honestly, I don't know.
There might be something we don't understand in that. Yeah, we really wanted to put the show together tonight, though we knew we hadn't got any script. As I joked when I did the teaser today, the reason we did it is because we just thought everybody needed a little bit of normality.
Yeah, no EastEnders, no
it's more
Coronation
important
Street,
now.
no sport, so we thought we better come on.
More important now than ever, show, in my opinion.
Old school, just banter and
Just trying. Yeah, we clearly had nothing. We prepped nothing, but
If we get
like
really
I say, the
bored,
new stuff is all pods and what have you, and
if we get
all
really
the
bored, we could do more than one a week, even.
Yeah.
If we...
lockdown special.
Richard's going to be doing live just every day to get away from the kids.
Yeah, do it live every day. Might as well
24-hour
go
live
live.
stream.
Got a goal of Harvest Boy's going to be here in a minute, and I'll be
Start throwing out
upstairs.
some hangouts though in the group, possibly. You could do hangouts if that still works.
Yeah, of course.
You know, get people chatting, get people talking if they're stuck indoors. You know, it's. I wanted to see you boys tonight because not that I've been isolated. I've been to work, but I'm always isolated anyway.
Exactly the same as you, Rick. I live in a tiny village. I've been working around. I've had no customers in the shop, and I just thought I'd come out and see everybody.
Just the fact I can't go to the pub is making me want to go to the pub.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a brief just that Nick advert to say if you do want e-liquid, go over. We're hoping to get Mark is in chat who makes crack, and we were hoping that was going to be the next big influx, but sadly Mark's daughter was confirmed as having COVID-19 earlier in the week, so obviously that's all off at the moment. But as soon as Mark's up and negative, we'll have that back in. But then so we've jumped the crack, and the next thing is going to be cactus, mojito, punch, zing, all of the cactuses we're going to have next. Mark Selby's in chat as well. That's the next one. We're going to go. He's just waiting for his stuff to turn up, and then we're going to go again. And we're just going to. What I will say for just that, Nick, we're going to keep going. It's going to be very difficult for me. I don't see anybody, so the chance of me contracting it's fairly slim. So I'm just going to keep doing what I do every single day.
That's the same with me as well. I mean, if you're bored at home, you could always go in the shed and make a mod.
Yeah, definitely. I really do mean that.
I thought it'd be quite busy for me, to be honest, with everybody being at home.
I was going to say exactly that. If you're bored and you want to like, don't forget, mod makers sell project boxes and stuff like that. So if you're not up, you know, I couldn't get a bit of wood and do shit all with it. But if you got the project part bits and stuff like that, not only that, he's like the #1 dude for information, and you can go on Showcase and ask questions.
It's not just that though. If there's ever time to get your hands on some Clapton wire.
Oh yes, now is
the time. Rick,
make sure you got your Clapton wire. Don't run out.
Best Clapton wire in the business. So get a few strands of that. Get some nice coils made. There's nothing more relaxing than getting some nice YouTube videos up and just wrapping your own. Yeah. Put them in a pot, get them all ready, so you don't have to do it.
So the project, well, you need to make a mod, you need to coil some atties, and you can get it all at Mod Maker.
Yeah, everything. Literally get everything.
You don't know, I'm only messing. But no, I mean, I thought it'd be busier. I thought more people would be tinkering. I think give it a week or two, and if we get in lockdown, then people are really going to be.
A week or two, and then when people are really all stuck at home, because
your mic does keep doing that thing. Your mic has got a weird thing on it where it thinks you've gone away.
The old house, move back. Not move back, move house again.
What was the other thing? I was going to say, let me. This is quite a little important. If it gets to it, we'll make a thread on the group. If you're out of something and you need it and everything is gone and everything has, you know, and sites that you normally use are shut down, ask, because
I can't see that any sites are going to shut down.
Let me just say, or if your local shop or whatever, if it's something really specific that you need, we have really, really tried over the last 4.5 years to put together a group of people who try and look after each other, and we honestly bin people off for acting like wankers. I promise we've got a group of we have one of the best vaping groups in the UK. Hands down, if you need something, say something, and we'll try and get it. Someone will try and help you. I promise. Yeah, that's my bet.
Yeah, and if people are getting a bit
not toilet rolls,
if people are starting to feel a bit isolated,
toilet rolls.
Sorry, Richard.
If people are starting to feel a bit isolated, then we will do some kind of whatever the equivalent people do of hangouts now.
Yeah,
some random hangouts.
We could tell everybody in the group, get Zoom, and if you're feeling
Gus used to be really good for that. He'd just pop up on an evening and do one, didn't he? But I don't know. But hangouts doesn't exist now, does it?
Yeah, it does.
Doesn't it?
For video,
I used to I used to hang out a little while ago. You can't do it. It still works. I used to hang out after we did a show a little while ago, and I spoke to Chris Bishop and our Canadian.
We'll randomly post links to those if people.
And let's get some. Let's keep everybody's morale up if we can.
Yeah, definitely.
Not that it's bad. I mean, I'm still going to work. I'm still doing my routine and going to work.
I'm still really irritated, which I expected.
But I don't. It's weird coming home and Annie and the kids are there, and it's just like. Yeah, I feel like I'm being locked down, even though I'm actually free to do anything I want, you know. But if it ever does come to lockdown, it's going to be a little bit different. I'm
just going to big up 2 people on the show as well, because Mrs. Richard is in the teaching profession, and Mrs. John works for the NHS, and these people are kicking ass right now. I think everybody realises now, and everybody realises it's really weird saying. I've seen a lot of people saying, "Ain't it funny?" You suddenly realise a cleaner is a really important person. You think, "This is what it took." Is this what it took? Oh, fair enough. The death of thousands of people.
50,000 people getting sick.
The backbone of the country.
Unbelievable. What people reckon they've just had an epiphany about. Get fucked.
Yeah,
that's a nice note to leave it on.
Yeah, get fucked.
Yeah, get fucked, everyone.
Stay safe.
Get bored.
Stay in the jungle. Stay green.
Love you. Stay green. Stay in the woods. Stay safe. Yeah.
Ta-ta.
Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.
Oh god, it's gonna be a long wave because it's